Imagine walking into a home with 8 perfectly symmetrical sides, or one built entirely from enameled steel panels. These are 10 house styles once beloved, now rarely constructed today. American Craftsman. The American Craftsman style emerged in the early 20th century as part of the broader arts and crafts movement, celebrating handmade beauty, honest materials, and simple living. It gained special popularity in California, where modest single-family homes known as California bungalows began filling growing neighborhoods. Inspired by the prairie and shingle styles, these houses featured low sloping roofs, wide overhanging eaves, exposed beams, and built-in furniture that blended function with warmth. The movement was shaped by influential figures such as Gustav Stickley, who used the Craftsman magazine to spread its philosophy nationwide. While the British arts and crafts movement focused on artistic ideals, American designers adapted the concept to make handcrafted homes affordable for the middle class. By the 1930s, the style gradually declined as modern architecture and mass production took over. One of the most celebrated examples is the Gambrel House in Pasadena, California. Built between 1908 and 1909 by Green & Green, still admired as a masterpiece of thoughtful design. Dutch Colonial Revival. The Dutch Colonial Revival style rose in the early 20th century, fueled by America's growing nostalgia for its colonial past. Its most recognizable feature was the gambrel roof, shaped like a barn, paired with wide overhanging eaves that gave the homes a soft, balanced appearance. This revival was inspired by original Dutch colonial houses built by settlers during the 17th and 18th centuries in regions such as New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. While early versions were made from brick or stone, revival homes were usually clad in wood siding and included large dormer windows that brought in more light and expanded living space. Most designs followed a symmetrical layout with a central doorway, shuttered windows, and simple decorative details. The style remained popular through the 1930s, especially in the northeastern United States. One of the most famous examples stands at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York, a house forever linked to the chilling Amityville horror legend. Octagon House. Octagon Houses emerged as a bold architectural experiment in the mid-19th century, sparked largely by the influence of Orson Squire Fowler. He believed 8-sided homes were more efficient, allowing improved airflow, brighter interiors, and smarter use of space. Compared to traditional rectangular layouts, octagon houses enclose nearly 20% more living area using the same exterior perimeter, making them both economical and energy conscious. Many displayed flat roofs topped with central cupolas, wide wraparound verandas, and creative systems for heating and collecting rainwater. Even with these benefits, the style never truly caught on, and by the early 1900s it slowly slipped from public favor. A few striking examples still stand today, including the Longwood Mansion in Mississippi and the Octagon House in Watertown, Wisconsin. Fowler's own lavish octagonal residence, famously called Fowler's Folly, was so extravagant that it was abandoned and eventually torn down in 1897. Queen Anne architecture. Queen Anne architecture rose to prominence across the United States between 1880 and 1910, replacing the earlier French-inspired Second Empire look. These homes were instantly recognizable for their asymmetrical fronts, sweeping porches, ornate wood trim, patterned shingles, and dramatic towers. Unlike the restrained British version, the American Queen Anne style embraced whimsy, layering varied roof lines and decorative details to create visual excitement. The design spread rapidly, shaping row houses, grand mansions, and cozy cottages alike. After 1900, its popularity declined as simpler colonial revival forms took center stage. Still, features such as wraparound porches lived on into the 1920s. One of the most celebrated examples is the Carson Mansion in Eureka, California, often called one of the most photographed Victorian homes in the nation. Tudor Revival. Tudor Revival architecture, sometimes called mock Tudor, gained popularity in the United States during the early 20th century. Inspired by medieval English homes, it featured steep roofs, decorative half-timbering, and tall brick chimneys. Wealthy families favored these homes in the 1920s and 30s, especially in expanding suburbs. The style symbolized tradition, craftsmanship, and old-world romance. Areas like Westchester County, Englewood, and Teaneck became filled with these storybook homes. After World War II, modern housing replaced them. Later builders simplified the style using synthetic materials, trading authenticity for easier upkeep. Brutalist style. Brutalist homes were impossible to ignore. Emerging in the 1950s and thriving through the 60s and 70s, this bold style embraced raw concrete, sharp geometry, and a stripped-down appearance that rejected decoration. Inspired by modernist architects such as Le Corbusier, brutalism focused on function above beauty. Many of these buildings were constructed as social housing or university facilities, especially in socialist countries where concrete symbolized equality and strength. Over time, public opinion shifted, and by the late 1970s, the style was associated with coldness, decay, and harsh urban landscapes. Despite this, many brutalist structures have gained new respect and legal protection. The name itself comes from the French term béton brut, meaning raw concrete, not from the word brutal. American Foursquare. The American Foursquare appeared from the mid-1890s through the late 1930s, offering a practical response to overly ornate Victorian designs. These 2.5-story box-shaped homes maximized interior space on narrow urban lots. Known as the Prairie Box, they shared traits with prairie architecture developed by Frank Lloyd Wright. Most included a wide front porch, a hipped roof with a central dormer, and Craftsman-inspired built-in cabinetry. Many were sold as mail-order houses by companies like Sears and Aladdin, shipping pre-cut materials for simple assembly. This style flourished in Midwestern neighborhoods and streetcar suburbs, where affordable, efficient housing was essential. Shotgun houses. The shotgun house tells a very different story, one rooted in necessity and clever simplicity. This narrow rectangular home became common across the southern United States from the late 19th century through the 1920s. Typically only 12 feet wide, its rooms were arranged in a straight line without hallways, allowing air to flow easily from front to back. Its memorable name came from the idea that a shotgun blast could pass straight through from one end to the other. The design is believed to have originated in New Orleans, shaped by Haitian and West African influences brought to the region in the early 1800s. These homes were inexpensive to build and allowed cities to house growing populations on limited land. Built close together, they used natural ventilation to survive hot climates. Many fell into neglect during urban renewal projects, yet in recent years, restored shotgun houses have returned to life. Even Elvis Presley was born in one, now preserved as a museum. Lustron houses. Lustron homes told a very different story, one shaped by urgency and innovation. Built in the late 1940s, these prefabricated steel houses were created to solve the massive housing shortage following World War II. Industrialist Carl Strandland designed them to be durable, affordable, and nearly maintenance-free. Each home arrived as a kit of more than 3,000 enameled steel parts, which were assembled on site. The Lustron Corporation hoped to produce tens of thousands, but financial struggles and government interference led to bankruptcy by 1950. Still, more than 2,000 were completed, and many remain standing today. Their interiors were just as futuristic, featuring metal walls, built-in storage, and even combination washing machines. Some were exported to Venezuela, proving their global appeal and remarkable ambition. Atomic Ranch. The Atomic Ranch reflected a nation dreaming of the future. After World War II, this sleek version of the traditional ranch home captured the spirit of the space age. It featured open floor plans, clean lines, and a seamless connection between indoors and outdoors. Architect Cliff May helped popularize the ranch in the 1930s, inspired by Spanish colonial homes in California. By the 1950s, 9 out of 10 new American houses followed the ranch style because of its low cost and practical layout. Atomic Ranch homes stood apart with large picture windows, clerestory glass, bold colors, and dramatic flat or butterfly roofs. Joseph Eichler became one of the most famous builders of these homes, spreading the design across California and creating entire neighborhoods shaped by modern living. These forgotten home styles reflect changing dreams, shifting values, and bold experiments, reminding us that architecture always mirrors the hopes of its era while quietly fading into history, as new generations imagine different futures. So, If you could bring back one of these forgotten home styles, which would it be? Would you choose steel walls, bold concrete, or storybook roofs? Each design tells a story of innovation, culture, and the dreams of its era. If you enjoyed this journey through architectural history, like the video and subscribe for more fascinating explorations. Drop a comment below and tell us which home style captured your imagination most. Your favorite might even inspire the next architectural comeback.